I turned my head in horror to find that my friend had actually turned into a monster. This terrifying sight instantly sent my thoughts to a speeding train. On the train were clearly a group of monsters disguised as humans. Weirdness and terror pervaded the entire carriage, and I had become a clown with 2 knives on my back. Without any hesitation, a slaughter show of mine began. I leaped down from the tall building, plunging straight into the train. I raised my hand and took out a monster in an instant. Enraged by this, the monsters flew into a fit of anger at once, but I didn't care at all, because the sudden attack they launched seemed extremely slow in my eyes. I grabbed the 2 knives and charged at the monsters. There was no fear, only the pleasure of slaughtering the monsters recklessly. Beneath my attacks, the monsters couldn't even withstand a single blow. I wished my speed could be even faster, for the monsters fell down before I could get my fill of killing them. With no other choice, I had to fight my way into the next carriage. I yanked out the electric wire in one hand, slid and darted behind a monster in an instant. Taking advantage of its being electrocuted, I threw it straight out of the train, because next, I was going to unleash all my strength to deal with the group of monsters in front of me. As I swung my knives with all my might, the monsters were torn to pieces on the spot. But just as I was venting my emotions recklessly in the train, a voice suddenly interrupted me. It turned out that all that had just happened was only my fantasy. But I knew that when such fantasies came, something bad was bound to happen. My friend brought me a way to make money. He wanted me to mortgage the family house. If everything went well, I would get 3 million yuan. This touched my bottom line. That was my mother's house, and I would never do such a thing. Yet my mother was in a vegetative state. All these years, it had always been my girlfriend who took care of her, so I had always been extremely grateful to her. But her work was extremely busy, and I barely had any time to spend with her. This also made her hold a deep grudge against me. My girlfriend's job was also terrible, because she always had to deal with some perverts. It was an obvious harassment to my girlfriend. I couldn't stand this any longer, and dragged her out on the spot. Yet my girlfriend said this was just her job, and she had no choice but to do so. Even though I knew this was the truth, I still felt extremely upset. I abhorred the pervert's shameless acts. That feeling surged into my mind once again. Anger took over my brain. I raised my fist and smashed it hard at the pervert. However, the excessive commotion caused a patient to be in mortal danger on the spot. The scene completely spiraled out of control, and my girlfriend panicked.